Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining the HVAC Mergers and Acquisition podcast. On this podcast, we're talking about how to prepare your HVAC company to sell and get the best price and best terms, how to acquire HVAC companies, and how to merge HVAC companies together. So anything mergers and acquisition related to HVAC, we are here to help. So by the way, if you'd like to see more information on what we do, go to scaleorexit.com. That's SCALE or exit.com. Okay, today we're going to talk about the first step, and I'm looking at my notes here. We're looking at the first step of merging an HVAC company together. What is the first step? The very first thing you want to do. So you've purchased an HVAC company, you have two HVAC companies. What's the first thing you want to do? Right. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to make it one legal entity. And the way you can do that is you form another holding company and you basically take the equity from the two companies and you roll it up into that holding company. So now when you have an investor come and buy your company or look at your company, they can see that they're not looking at two separate companies. They're looking at one legal company, right? And that's helpful to them from a due diligence standpoint, because when they buy your company, they're going to want to, really do a thorough analysis of it. And just that alone is a big step, right? Having one legal entity, that's the first step. Now, you may be wondering, well, what about everything else? What about all the employees? Well, we're just talking about the first step right now. And so when that happens, you really don't want to do anything else for, at least 30 to 60 days. You don't do anything else, because your employees, when they hear that you're merging companies together, they're going to have their imagination is going to go wild. They're going to wonder, well, am I still going to have a job? Because now that we have multiple dispatchers, multiple finance people, multiple techs, and will I still have a job? Who's going to be running what business? So there's a lot that goes into that, and you want to communicate your plan to them. But even after you communicate that plan, there's still going to be questions. And so the more stable you can keep that entity in the short term, the better, right? So let things calm down a little bit. After the acquisition has been announced, after one legal entity's been formed, then let there be some calm there for a while, to where you're not making a bunch of changes, because it's easy to see those things when you're looking at both companies. You're like, wait a minute, I can do this and this, and I could change all these things. But when you do that, if you try to change things too fast, you're going to have team members leave, and you're going to have some unintended consequences by doing that. So you want to take it one step at a time and make it collaborative. Talk to your team members through the process, get feedback from them, to where they don't feel like their complete life and their complete world is changing, and create a lot of stress for them, and make them start looking elsewhere. So hopefully you found that helpful, and stay tuned for future episodes.